witness all history. Yet without love, man were not man. Therefore, thine uncle Richard Wagner made of our doctrine a musical fable, wherein we see Amfortas, who yield himself to seduction, wounded beyond healing, Klingzor, who withdrew himself from a like danger cast out forever from the mountain of salvation, and Parsifal, who yielded not able to exercise the true power of love, and thereby to perform the miracle of redemption. Of this also have I myself written in my poems called Adonis. It is the same with food and drink, with exercise, with learning itself. The problem is ever to bring the appetite into the right relation with the will. Thus thou mayst fast or feast. There is no rule but that of balance. And this doctrine is of general acceptation among the better sort of men. Therefore, on thee will I rather impress more carefully the other part of my wisdom, namely the necessity of extending constantly thy nature to new mates upon every plane of being, so that thou mayst become the perfect microcosm, an image without flaw of all that is. De gradibus acius scientiae. I say in sooth, O my son, that this extension of thy nature is not in violation thereof, for it is the nature of thy nature to grow continually. Now there is no part of knowledge which is foreign to thee, yet knowledge itself is of no avail unless it be assimilated and coordinated into understanding. Grow therefore easily and spontaneously, developing all parts equally, lest thou become a monster. And if one thing tempt thee overmuch, correct it by devotion to its opposite until equilibrium be re-established. But seek not to grow by sudden determination toward things that be far from thee. Only if such a thing come into thy thought, construct a bridge thereunto, and take firmly the first step upon that bridge. I shall explain this. Dost thou speculate upon the motives of the stars, and on their elements, their size and weight? And thou must first gain knowledge of things mathematical, of laws physical and chemical. So then first, that thou mayst understand clearly the nature of thine whole work, map out thy mind, extend its powers from the essential outwards, from the near to the far, always with firmness and great thoroughness, making every link in thy chain equal and perfect. De virtute ardendi, yet this I charge thee with my might, live dangerously. Was not this the word of thine uncle Friedrich Nietzsche? Thy meanest foe is the inertia of the mind. Men do hate most things, those things which touch them closely, and they fear light, and persecute the torch-bearers. Do thou therefore analyze most fully all those ideas which men avoid, for the truth shall dissolve fear. Rightly, indeed, men say that the unknown is terrible, but wrongly do they fear lest it become the known. Moreover, do thou all acts of which the common sort beware, save where thou hast already full knowledge, that thou mayst learn use and control, not falling into abuse and slavery. For the coward and the foolhardy shall not live out the days. Everything hath his right use, and thou art great as thou hast use of things. This is the mystery of all art and magic, and thine hold upon the universe. Yet if thou must err, being human, err by excess of courage rather than of caution. For it is the foundation of the honor of man that he dareth greatly. What saith Quintus Horatius Flaccus in the third ode of his first book? Die thou standing. De arte mentis culendi, a mathematica. Now concerning the first foundation of thy mind I will say somewhat. Thou shalt study with diligence in the mathematics, because thereby shall be revealed unto thee the laws of thine own reason and the limitations thereof. the science manifesteth unto thee thy true nature in respect of the machinery whereby it worketh, and showeth in pure nakedness, without clothing of personality or desire, the anatomy of thy conscious self. Furthermore, by this thou mayst understand the essence of the relations between all things, and the nature of necessity, and come to the knowledge of form. For this mathematics is as it were the last veil before the image of truth, so that there is no way better than our holy Kabbalah, which analyzeth all things soever, and reduceth them to pure number. And thus the natures being no longer colored and confused, they may be regulated and formulated in simplicity by the operation of pure reason, to thy great comfort in the work of our transcendental art, whereby the many become one. Sequitur Classica. My son, neglect not in any wise the study of the writings of antiquity, and that in the original language, for by this thou shalt discover the history of the scripture of thy mind, that this, its nature regarded as the last term in a sequence of causes and effects. For thy mind hath been built up by these elements, so that in these books thou mayst bring into the light thine own subconscious memories. And thy memory is as it were the mortar in the house of the mind, without which is no cohesion or individuality possible, so that it is called dementia. These books have lived long and become famous because they are the fruits of ancient trees whereof thou art directly the heir. Wherefore, say I, they are more truly German to thine own nature than books of collateral offshoots, though such were in themselves better and wiser. Yea, O my son, in these writings thou mayst study to come to the true comprehension of thine own nature, and that of the whole universe, in the dimension of time, even as the mathematic declareth it in that of space that is of extension. Wherever by this study shall the child comprehend the foundation of manners, the which, as saith one of the sons of wisdom, maketh man. Sequitur Scientifica. Since time and space are the conditions of mind, these two studies are fundamental. Yet there remaineth causality, which is the root of the actions and reactions of nature. This also shalt thou seek ardently, that thou mayest comprehend the variety of the universe, its harmony and its beauty, with the knowledge of that which compelleth it. Yet this is not equal to the former two, in power to reveal thee to thyself, and its first use is to instruct thee in the true method of advancement in knowledge, which is fundamentally the observation of the like and the unlike. Also it shall arouse in thee the ecstasy of wonder, and it shall bring thee to a proper understanding of art, magic. For our magic is but one of the powers that lie within us undeveloped and unanalyzed, and it is by the method of science that it must be made clear and available to the use of man. Is not this a gift beyond price, the fruit of a tree not only of knowledge but of life? For there is that in man which is God, and there is that also which is dust. And by our magic we shall make these twain one flesh, to the obtaining of the empery of the universe. De modo quo operit lex magica. Give ear attentively, O my son, while I expound unto thee the true doctrine of magic. Every force acteth in due proportion on all things with which it is connected. Thus a burning forest causeth chemical change, a combustion giveth heat and motion to the air about it by the operation of physical laws, and exciteth thought and emotion in the man whom it reacheth through his organs of perception. Consider, even though it were but legend, the fall of the apple of Isaac Newton, its effect upon the spiritual destinies of man. Consider also that no force cometh ever to the end of its work. The air that is moved by my breath is a disturbance or change of equilibrium that cannot be fully compensated and brought to naught, though the eons be endless. Who then shall deny the possibility of magic? Well said, Fraser, the most learned doctor of the College of the Holy Trinity in the University of Cambridge. The science was but the name of magic, which failed not of its intended effect. De machina magica. Lo, I put forth my will, and my pen moveth upon the paper. Because that my will mysteriously hath power upon the muscles of my arm, and these do work at a mechanical advantage against the inertia of the pen. I cannot break down the wall opposite me, because that I cannot come into mechanical relation with it, or the wall at my side, because that I am not strong enough to overcome its inertia. To win that battle, I must call time and to win that battle, I must call time and pickaxe to mine aid. But how could I retard the motion of the earth and space? I am myself party of its momentum. At every stroke of my pen affecteth that motion by changing the equilibrium thereof. The problem of every act of magic is then this: to exert a will sufficiently powerful to cause the required effect through a menstruum or medium of communication. By their common understanding of the word magic, we yet exclude such media as are generally known and understood. Now then, O my son, I will declare unto thee first the nature of the power, and afterward that of the medium. Der harmonia anime cum corpore. All things are interwoven. The most spiritual thought in thy soul, I speak as a fool, is also a most material change in blood or brain. Anger maketh the blood acid, hate poisoneth mother's milk, even as I showed formerly in reverse how disturbance of physical function altereth the states of consciousness. Now no man doubteth the power of the willed man, whether it be his love that beggeth children or causeth wars wherein many men be slain, whether it be his eloquence that moveth a mob, or his vanity that destroyeth a people. Only in all such cases we understand how nature worketh, through known laws, physical or psychical. That is, there is a state of unstable equilibrium, so that one machine setteth another in motion as soon as the first disturbance ariseth. Therefore it is not proper to regard all consequence of a will as its effect. Without the revolution, there could have been no greater effect of the will of Napoleon. Moreover, his will was broken in the end, to the present misfortune, as it seemeth to many beside myself of mankind. This magic, therefore, dependeth greatly on the art to set many other wills in sympathetic motion. The greatest magus may not be the most successful in a mean conception of a limit of time. He may need many blows before he breaketh down his wall, if that be strong, while a child may push over one that is ready to crumble. De mysterio preduntiae. Behold, now nature, how prodigal is she of her forces. The evident will of every acorn is to become an oak, yet night all fail of that will. Therefore one secret of magic, in economy of thy force, to do no act unless secure of its effect, and if every act hath an effect on every plane, how canst thou do this unless thou be connected with all planes? For this reason must thou know thoroughly not only thy body and thy mind, but thy body of light and all its subtler principles soever. But I will have thee to consider most especially what powers thou hast within thee, which are certainly capable of great effects, yet which are constantly wasted. Think then whether if these powers, frustrate of their end upon one plane, might not be turned to high purpose and assured success upon another. For 100 acorns rightly set in conditions fit for their true growth will become 100 oaks, while otherwise they make but one meal for one hog, and their subtle nature is wholly lost to them. Learn then, O my son, this mystery of economy, and apply it faithfully and with diligence in thy work. De arte alchemica. Okay, we'll read two more. Here then must I write concerning talismans for thine instruction. Know first that there are certain vehicles proper for the incarnation of the will. I instance paper whereon by thine art thou writest a symbolic representation of thy will, so that when thou next seest it, thou art reminded of that will, or it may be that another seeing it is moved to obey that will. Here then is a case of incarnation and assumption, which before it was understood was rightly considered gramarye or magic. Again, thy will to live causeth thee to plant corn, which in due season being eaten is again transmuted into will. Thus thou mayest in many ways impress any particular will upon the proper substance, so that by due use thou comest at last to its accomplishment. So general is this formula, in truth, that all conscious actions may be included within its scope. There is also the converse, as when external objects create appetite, whose satisfaction again reacteth upon the physical plane. Praise thou the wonder of the mystery of nature, rising and falling with every breath, so that there is no part which is not mystically partaker of the whole. De arcano subtilissimo. O my son, there is that within thee of marvelous puissance, which is by its own nature the incarnation of thy will, most ready to receive the seal thereof. Therein lie hidden all powers, all memories, more than thou hast thyself 10,000-fold. Learn then to draw from that great treasure house the jewel of which thou art in any present need. For all things that are possible to thy nature are already hidden within thee, and thou hast but to name them, and to bring them back into the light of thy consciousness. Then squander not this gold of thine, but put it to most fruitful usury. Now then of the art and craft of this most holy mystery, I write not for a reason that thou already knowest. Moreover, in this matter thou shalt best learn by thine own experience, and thine observation in true science shall guide thee. For this secret is still of magic, and occult, so that I know not certainly if thy will lieth my way or no. Okay, that's a brief reading from Liber Aleph Vel CXI, the Book of Wisdom or Folly. It's a long book. I'll read you the last page. And who is this pure fool? Lo, in the sagas of old time, legend of skald, of bard, of druid, cometh he not in green like spring? O thou great fool, thou water that art air, in whom all complex is resolved? Yea, thou in ragged raiment, with the staff of Priapus and the wineskin. Thou standest up on the crocodile like Horpakrat, and the great cat leapeth upon thee. Yea, and more also I have known thee, who thou art Bacchus Diffuus, none and two in thy name, E-I-O. Now at the end of all do I come to the being of thee, beyond by coming, and I cry aloud my word, as it was given unto man by thine uncle Alcofribas Nazir, the oracle of the bottle of Bacbuc, and this word is trink. But in the ancient right spelling this is trino, whereof the number is the number of the name of me thy father. to wit, 603 score and 6. Love is the law, love under will, 666, and XIV, Sol in Aries, Luna in Aries. Okay, Adrian, that's been a reading from the Book of Folly. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you have a great afternoon. What's a book? Okay, take care.